بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وسلم تسليما. Assalamu alaikum to all of the students. Okay, my name is Mufti Abu Bakr. I am from England. And inshallah today we will be inaugurating in the dars of Kitab Al Tahara from al-Fiqh Al Muyassar. Al-Fiqh Al Muyassar is written by Maulana Shafeequr Rahman Nadwi. And the Kitab, mashallah, has a very simple approach to Islamic sacred law. Now, a quick note to all students and to everybody who's listening. Inshallah, if you want to benefit fully from this, I would encourage you to take notes as you're going along, because in certain areas, I will be saying something which is not in the Arabic text, which is in front of you in the screen. And in other areas, I may be giving certain translations to Arabic words, which might be worthwhile noting. And furthermore, I will also state that if there is any point or any area which you are in doubt of, or you don't understand, or you want further clarification, please get in touch with me or the other ulamas on Ilm Hub, which is up here, which is this website. Okay. Now, Kitab Al Tahara, the writer has inaugurated with a simple ayat of the Qur'an. Inna Allah yuhibbu at-tawwabina wa yuhibbu al-mutatahhirin. Now please bear with me with my accent. Okay. Indeed, Allah Ta'ala, He loves those who are often repenting, and those who love purity, and those who keep themselves pure. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has further stated in the Sahih Hadith, At-tuhuru shatrul iman, cleanliness is part of faith. In another translation will state it is half of faith. Faith here refers to salat in the words of many of the muhaddithin. So the Musannif is saying directly that Anta Abdullah, that you are the servant of Allah. He has created you so that you worship Him alone and you ascribe no partners unto Him. Again, if you follow the mouse, wherever I'm attentive, I'll use the mouse. And the greatest of worships is Salah. In other parts of the world, it is known as namaz. Other parts of the world will simply be known as practical worship and so on. And that's one of the main things from the 5 pillars of Islam. One of the second pillars from the 5 pillars of Islam. Now moving on, our Prophet ﷺ has said, Miftahul Jannah as-Salah, Miftahul Salah at-Tuhur. Key to paradise is Salah, and the key to Salah is cleanliness. Okay, so in many of the kitabs of fiqh, many of the kitabs of Islamic sacred law, the writers from past and present, they have always inaugurated with Salah. They have always started with, they have always started with Kitab Al Tahara before they have mentioned Kitab Al Salah. Simple fact being that the foundation has to be strong. Thereafter, you can build all of the other worships upon this. If the foundation is weak, and other worships will be affected. Now, Tahara itself means cleanliness. The linguistic meaning of the word Tahara is cleanliness. Tahara in the canopy of the Sharia, it means to remove any impurities from the body and any other impurities from the clothes or from the place in which Salah will be read on. So the place in which Salah will be read on refers to the places which will touch the places of the body which will touch the ground in sajda, in sujood. So you're looking at about 2 or 3 feet for the average sized person. That area minimally must be clean. Your clothes that you are wearing must be clean, and your body must be clean of impurities. That is the meaning of Tahara in Islam, in Shariat. Now there are 2 types of Tahara. And the writer, the Musannif, he has given us a diagram here. I would also like to make a point here that in the course of the lessons, I will be using less translated words and using more of the words of Shariat. Okay, so for example here, the author, if you follow the mouse, he has said that there are 2 types of cleanliness, tahara. One is called hukmiya, and the other tahara is called haqiqiya. So hukmiya means that impurity which cannot be seen by the naked eye or by the person, such as a person who is in need of wudhu or a person who is in need of ghusl. Wudhu, ablution, ghusl is a bath. And tahara, haqiqiya, is a real impurity which can be seen or felt or noticed, such as blood, urine or stool, or even alcohol or other types of impurities which are physically there and they can be physically noticed. Now, for this diagram, I would urge students to take a pen and to write this diagram out in English or in your mother tongue, if it helps. At the top we have the tahara. From tahara make two branches. One branch is cleanliness from impurities, and the other branch is cleanliness from najasat haqiqiyah, impurities also. We have tahara. You have two branches coming from the word tahara, cleanliness. On one side write taharat haqiqiyah, on the other side write taharat hukmiyah. Under taharat hukmiyah write which is under the law, which is in the ruling of impurity, and taharat haqiqiyah write down real impurity. If you want to add further explanations, you may do. Okay. Now I'll give you a moment to do that. Now moving on. Now the next chapter is on taharatul hukmiyah. And izalatul hadas. Now how do you clean yourself from taharatul hukmiyah when a person is in need of obligatory wudhu, obligatory ablution, or obligatory bath? The writer has also given a diagram here. Hadath qisman, that there are two types of impurities. Hadath al-asghar, the small impurity. Hadath al-akbar, the large impurity. And for this you need wudhu, and for hadath al-akbar you need ghusl. Again, if you can write that out in English, it may benefit you later on. Now here, كم أقسام الحدث كيف تحصل طهارة. There are two types of impurities. You can gain purity from hadath al-asghar by doing wudhu, by ablution, and you can gain purity from akbar by performing ghusl or taking a shower. Okay. And here the Musannif, he writes further on. Let's move down. A set of questions for the student to write. Now, I do not want to go over these questions at this point. In the start of the next lesson, inshallah, I will go over the answers for this. The first question here, I will translate this for you so you can note this down and we can go over the answers next time, inshallah. إذا لم نجد الماء للوضوء أو الغسل, when a person does not find water for ablution or for a bath or enough to take a bath, what will he do? Will he first delay his salah until another time, or will we do tayammum, which is dry wudhu technically? And I do not mean that you do that with thin air. We'll come on to that in a later chapter. And nusalli bila wudhu, or we read salat without wudhu. Circle the correct answer. Now, nisful iman, what is the half of faith, half of iman? Is it wudhu? Is it sawm or fasting? Is it purity, or is it salah? Again, circle the correct answer. A'zamul ibadat, what is the greatest of worships? One of the greatest of worships. Is it wudhu? Is it sawm? Is it tahara? Is it salah? Now, for that, I will not give you the translations. Now, it says here, تأمل فيما يلي وبين هل هو صواب أو خطأ وتصويب الخطأ. Now, you have to state which of these sentences is incorrect, and then if it is incorrect, then you have to write the correct sentence or make the correction. الطهارة قسمان, طهارة من الحدث وطهارة من النجاسة الحقيقية. Impurities of two types: purity from hadath, impurity, and tahara from najasat al-haqiqiyah. Is that correct or not? الطهارة من الحدث تسمى الطهارة الحقيقية. Taharat from hadath. Now remember the word hadath. I remember the word najasa. I was looking for this word before the lesson started in the dictionary, and it gave me the same meaning. If anybody actually does have a different meaning, please let me know. For hadath and najasat, it is named Taharat al-Haqiqiyah. Miftahul Jannah, Miftahul Jannati huwa salah wa tahara. That the key to paradise is namaz or salah and purity. Is that the correct sentence or not? Oh, excuse me. I extend my apologies for that. Somebody rang at the wrong time. Now, al-hadathu kisman. There are two types of hadath. Asghar wal-akbar. The very small and the very big. وَيَشْتَرِطُ لِأَوَّلِهِ الْوُضُوء. And the condition for the first one is wudu, and for the second one is ghusl, bath. Now the next part is وَجِبْ أَنَسْلَةِ الْآتِيَةِ. Answer the following questions. Answer the coming questions. لماذا ندرس الطهارة قبل الصلاة? Why do we learn about by gaining purity or cleanliness before namaz, before salah? اذكر آية والحديث حديثا يدلان على أهمية الطهارة. Mention or say the verse and the hadith which both give a proof for the importance of cleanliness. ما معنى الطهارة في اللغة العربية? What is the meaning of tahara in the Arabic language? وما معناها في شريعة الإسلام? What is the meaning of tahara in the laws of the Islamic sacred laws and the laws of Sharia, laws of Islam? ما هو الحدث وكيف تحصل طهارة منه? What is this hadath? What is this impurity? And how do we gain cleanliness from that, purity from that? Okay, I will leave that with you to answer for the oncoming lessons. The next chapter is al-istinja'u wa adab al-qadha wal-haja. Istinja, to relieve oneself, and the etiquettes pertaining to how a person should relieve themselves. Our Sharia, mashallah, is so beautiful and so deep that it has left virtually no stone unturned, and it teaches the slave how to purify themselves. Now, the writer has started here by quoting the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, إنما أنا لكم بمنزلة الوالد أعلمكم فإذا أتى أحدكم الغائط فلا يستقبل القبلة ولا يستتيب بيمينه وكان يأمر بثلاثة أحجار وينهى عن الروث والرمة. Make sure my tajweed is correct. Okay, now Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is stating here that indeed I for you am like a father. So I teach you that when you go for relieving yourself. So when any one of you comes to relieve himself, then do not face the Qibla, do not face the direction for Salah, or do not put your back towards it. And do not clean yourselves with your right hand. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he ordered or he advised us to use at least 3 stones. Now we'll come on to that meaning later on. ثلاث حجار وينهى عن الروث والرمة. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he forbid us from using cow dung or animal dung, or for using bones. Okay, now in the days of old, in antiquity, people, and actually today in some parts of the world also, people, they use stones or dry earth or other earthly materials to clean the body. In England, some people will use tissues, okay, which is allowed, but we should also use water, and I will come on to that point again later on. So we said at least use a minimum of 3 stones. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam forbid us from using cow dung because it himself is impure, and for using bones. And the reason for not using bones is that it is the food of the Muslim jinns or the Mu'min jinns, whereas in the hadith in Tirmizi and in Sunan Abu Dawood, It says, it is for the food for the brother